PlayStation's next exclusive Wolverine exposes a massive problem within the PlayStation ecosystem. For example, I love my third-person cinematic action games. Cut to Wolverine, and now this is a boring and generic-ass game. No disc, no buy. And then they get the new Wolverine console, and everybody's like, I might have to cop that, bro. And of course, Wolverine is cringe and woke. Bro, he just flipped the dude off with his claw. He's literally done that in the movies before. Now, to be honest, I don't believe this outrage towards Wolverine is entirely because of how the game looks, but something deeper within the PlayStation ecosystem. Because even as someone that's not a diehard Sony pony, this type of game is par for the course as far as I'm concerned. So what changed and how did we even get to this point? Alright, now Wolverine is the target of this hate, or at least the face of this hate right now, but the real enemy here is PlayStation / Sony. They have just been making atrocious, stupid, unbelievably bad decisions that basically just give two giant middle fingers to every Sony pony, gamer in general, really. They are just making bold and bad decisions, and they just suck. Unfortunately, though, that's where Wolverine comes in, and the first sign of, oh, okay, we got some mediocrity here, or at least what these fans are perceiving to be mediocrity here, they're gonna get fucking demolished. But to be fair, it's anything associated with Sony. I mean, Phantom Blade Zero just had its direct a few days ago, and it was bombarded with no disc, no buy, which I'm all for that movement, by the way. I'm not saying that's an issue, the movement or anything, or the people's anger towards Sony, because it's justified. I'm not fucking with Sony. Fuck them niggas. But that is where I believe the root of this problem is. It's just simply with PlayStation. So now we are here with Wolverine, which to me looks like a fine game. Doesn't look like it's gonna have the most insane in-depth mechanics and gameplay, but that's par for the course with Sony exclusives. I typically expect it to be, pretty simple mechanically, but a great cinematic, just a fun, like a nice solid 8 out of 10 game. I'm not expecting something that's gonna blow my mind in terms of gameplay. Maybe the story can be awesome. I mean, the Spec Ops The Line writer is on board for this game. So in terms of the game itself, I don't think that is the biggest issue. I think there's just a huge underlying issue with Sony, and that is being infected by anything associated with it. On that note, Sony, fuck you guys, man. Just fuck you guys. You guys are in the no disc situation, constantly trying to push these ridiculous live service slop games. It's so frustrating because they could really just be on top because Xbox still honestly seems like it doesn't have any idea of what it's doing. But instead, they're like, oh, we're on top. We're gonna just start shitting on all of our loyal fans and treating them like crack addicts because we know they have nowhere else to go, which I hope people wake up and realize, hey man, we gotta abandon this PlayStation ecosystem because it's bullshit. Regardless of that, a lot of this Wolverine hate, I do think is just because Sony has been on a really bad streak, at least, especially this year, but really, it's been going for quite some time now. Just people were accepting the bullshit, and now people are not accepting it. So I think a lot of that, for starters, is where the Wolverine hate is misdirected at and should be pointed straight at Sony. Like I said, because I think the game itself looks fine, which we're going to get into the game itself, by the way. There's a few things I think are an issue, but otherwise I feel like it's a lot of overblown LARPing nonsense. Sony is the real target of our animosity towards these games. At least I would like to think so. Granted, it could be cope, it could be whatever y'all think it is. I would like to think that let's calm down with Insomniac. Insomniac hasn't really done anything wrong. We need to be, consistently just shitting on Sony because they deserve that shit. And Insomniac, hey, I'm sorry you're in the crossfire for this. You're gonna have to deal with it for now, but that's just what I believe right now. So good luck, Insomniac, with Wolverine. But now let's actually talk about the people's complaints with the actual game itself. I'm gonna be honest, if you guys are complaining about Wolverine and how it looks, this is the Sony Ponies PlayStation Nation's users' fault. I'm gonna break it down like this. I'm gonna give a scenario. Imagine there's another superhero game. They released 3 games. One of them's really like a DLC, like a short game, like a half game basically, and it plays the exact same as the first game. And then another game, because they're kind of rushed out, the second game is actually really big. People kind of like it, but it loses Game of the Year, and people are mad as fuck because they think it should be Game of the Year. I'm talking about Spider-Man. A lot of the hardcore PlayStation users were touting for Spider-Man 2 to win Game of the Year, and those were like 3 of the same games back to back, so I don't really understand what the expectations were with Wolverine. He's a more grounded and limited character than Spider-Man is. I mean, I wanted it to be violent, I wanted to have a good story, which seems like it will, and I want it to just be a nice little power fantasy I can enjoy. That's kind of what I'm expecting with the game. It just feels like a lot of people wanted Wolverine to sit out here and fucking turn into Superman on command and Incredible Hulk at the same time. I don't really understand what they were expecting with this, but at the end of the day, I think a lot of people's expectations did not meet the reality of what they were going to get. And that's on the PlayStation Nation. This is what Insomniac makes. They make games like this. They're solid games. They're not really gonna push the needle forward very much, but they're solid games. And now it seems like with Wolverine, all of a sudden, that's like the PlayStation Nation has woken up and is like, we want the most innovative superhero game ever. And I'm kind of confused as to how that happened. We just went through 3 Spider-Man games that honestly were damn near, they were damn near the same game each time with a different story. And I'm not mad at that. I liked all 3 Spider-Man games. Maybe they got progressively less interesting, in my opinion, but I liked all 3 Spider-Man games. So I don't really understand why it feels like the Wolverine audience is now just turning on them. All of a sudden, now this game looks like woke, mediocre slop. It's very odd. And another big issue that I'm really getting fucking sick of is the goddamn LARPing going on in the community. It's clear that some of y'all don't know anything about Wolverine, and that's fine. Like, my problem with people that don't know anything about a character is when they go online and pretend they know something about a character and say something is weird and they would never do that. And gosh darn it, I wish I saved the tweets, but people are really not liking that, oh, has like trauma and memory loss and all that stuff. And it's like, well, that's part of his character. I'm sorry to tell you, not really sure what you were looking for. You just wanted him to be hands, nigga, I got hands, nigga. I mean, that's what he is most of the time, but he also has an actual character behind the Macho Man show he does. So it's just bizarre that this is even a critique. Now, I will say the 2 things I do agree with the people on. One, the character design is, I'm not gonna say it's the best. It's not awful. Okay, let me put it like this. It's not awful. I think people saying that it's awful, I don't agree with them. I don't think it's the greatest design either, though. It's right around that middling 5 out of 10 range for me. Like, it could be better, but it could be worse. I think for what they are trying to do with the old, like the really realistic looking game, I think it looks fine. But the people saying it's the worst fucking shit ever, everyone's ugly, I disagree with that sentiment. And the other thing, this is dependent on how the game is when it launches. Now, for a prerequisite, one of my favorite games of all time is Nier Automata. It has the giant boss, slamming my hand down, you beat the hand up, all that other dumbass shit. Very simple, kind of generic, tired boss design. I get it. Wolverine has that in what looks like the intro mission. Now, my problem is going to be, if this game is like 15, 20 hours long and we fight a giant boss like that like 3 or 4 times, all right, buddy, you gotta cut that shit out. That cannot be a fucking multi-time boss fight. Twice at most. And I do not want to see boring hit the hand on the ground 3, 4 times out of the game. Cannot be that. But that was also just an intro cut. That was just an intro mission. It looks like an introductory tutorial type boss. I'm fine with that. That we know is the same way in Nier. That was a tutorial boss essentially. But there's a lot of disingenuous shit going on. People making videos on Twitter talking about, oh, you just run forward, the game plays itself, or oh, I'm gonna spam R2, which I know you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you don't use the R2 button to fucking melee in these games. We all know it's not that. So come on, bruh. Come on, you gotta be at least be accurate if you're going to be trolling. But yeah, at the end of the day, I hope that Wolverine is going to be a good game. I will definitely be getting the game. And on top of that, fuck Sony. Let's direct that anger towards Sony specifically. I feel like Insomniac is now getting shit on all of a sudden, and I don't understand why it's happening now. Well, I understand that, Sony's fucking up, but Insomniac specifically, I don't really get the targeting of them. I feel like a lot of that's from the go woke, go broke crowd too, but hopefully they can, shut the fuck up and let the game come out and do its thing. But yeah, with that said, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. We are on to push to 500 subs before the year is up. I believe I can do it. I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna stream. By the way, I have a Battlefield rant stream coming up because I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of disappointed with this season. So be on the lookout for that. I'm not really good at scheduling the streams because unfortunately adulting means I am probably going to just do it in the middle of the fucking night before I have to go to work. So, also, kind of a new thing. I did not think I would be able to do this, but I also have an affiliate link to the microphone I'm currently using. I figured it would be a nice way to put people onto a nice budget mic, as well as, you know, try something that someone tried to teach me using affiliate links. I didn't even know about it, and I looked it up. I believe this link works, so if not, just let me know in the comments below. But this is a great budget microphone if you want to get into content creation of any kind. I'm in a living room right now, echoey as hell, and I can get it to sound remotely decent. So if anyone is interested in that, click the link in the description below. And again, thank you for watching. Now I'm going to hop in my Franks and fly on out of here now, y'all. Peace.